Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to be here tonight. My name is Sam Clifford, and I have the absolute honour of being the director of the Yoni Jesner Foundation. It's truly inspiring to see all the acts of kindness and community engagement you have all been doing to achieve your Yoni Jesner Awards. The Yoni Jesner Foundation aims to perpetuate Yoni's legacy by inspiring young people to do more and care more. With our partners, JLGB, we can see that Yoni's life inspires you all to want to do exactly that. Do more and care more in your communities, at your schools, within your families, and even wider. I hope that this award is the beginning of your volunteering and something that you continue to do, both to give back to your community, but also for yourselves, as I'm sure you will all agree that you have gained a huge amount from volunteering this year. This October will mark the beginning of the 15th year since Yoni's death. 15 years without Yoni, years when his family and friends through the foundation have worked tirelessly to ensure that all Yoni worked for in his short life continues. Yoni's story will always resonate within this community. He was one of us. A young British Jew, committed to his family, passionate about his youth movement and his community, an innovator, a deep thinker, a great friend, a huge personality who, as his brother Ari said, achieved more in his 19 years than most do in 90. As we approach the anniversary, we want to make sure that we mark it appropriately. We want to celebrate Yoni's life and also celebrate all that has been achieved in his name. We will be launching an ambitious project to create a book and a website based on Yoni's 66 aphorisms for young people to inspire them, to educate and to encourage them. We will be encouraging more Jews to sign up to be organ donors, breaking down the myths and taboos that exist, and helping people to understand that being a donor is halakhically acceptable and the right thing to do. Yoni's Yortzeit this falls on Sukkot. As Marsha said, we will launch a new initiative this year when on one night of Sukkot, we will invite people all around the world to hold an evening in their sukkah in Yoni's memory, to share stories, to learn and to give tzedakah to support the projects in his name. We will also hold events in Glasgow and London to allow all those who knew Yoni and those who have been inspired by him to commemorate this anniversary together. We will, of course, continue our partnership with JLGB with the Yoni Jesner Awards, widening our reach to encourage more young people to get involved with their communities and develop more resources to accompany the scheme to really look at the Jewish values behind volunteering. We want to increase our scholarship award. Gap years in Israel cost between £12,000 to £17,000, and we want our award to make much more of a significant impact. To do all of this requires help. We can't do it alone. If you would like to support us in any of our projects or make a donation, please do come and find me or any of the family after the ceremony. Now, to the main reason I'm speaking to you tonight. The Yoni Jesner Foundation knows that leadership needs nurturing and time to develop. Young people need the opportunity to immerse themselves in their culture, their history, and their religion. We know that spending a gap year in Israel, whichever program you choose, develops exceptional young leaders for the British Jewish community and beyond. If you look at leaders you admire within this community, I'm sure most of them have spent some significant time in Israel. Yoni was just beginning his second gap year in Israel when he was so tragically killed. He was already a leader, someone who inspired others and brought people with him. As a foundation, we want to ensure that we can continue this and allow others to follow in Yoni's footsteps. We award the Yoni Jesner Scholarship each year to an exceptional young person who will be spending a year in Israel, immersed in Torah studies in the land of Israel and with the Jewish people. It gives me huge pleasure to introduce to you a truly wonderful young woman who is very clearly following in Yoni's footsteps and who has already achieved a huge amount, both within the Jewish community and wider. Let me tell you a bit about Mia Gray, this year's Yoni Jesner Scholar. Mia is someone who you very quickly realise is unique, something that her school, Fortismere, also recognised very quickly when she was selected as head of college within a few months of joining the school. In addition to this, Mia is also co-chair of the Feminist Society, involved with Médecins Sans Frontières, the Politics Society, tutoring Year 11 students and helping to lead the Year 7 Accelerated Reading Programme. She has completed the Silver Duke of Edinburgh Award, the Yoni Jesner Award and the Jack Petchey Speak Out Challenge Award. As well as all of this, Mia is the youngest team member for this year's Limerick Conference and is a deputy head of her local branch of B'nai Akiva. All of this alone indicates someone who sees that the world is wider than just herself and knows the importance of giving back. However, it's what I'm about to tell you that will truly show just how remarkable Mia is. When Mia overcame her depression in 2014, she decided she would use her experiences to help other young people who are battling with such illnesses. She started by setting up a telephone service for her friends who had nowhere else to turn, especially in the middle of the night. This grew by word of mouth to the point where her phone would go off almost every hour, and she eventually found a system of directing each call to an appropriate service and sending free advice to every caller. But she didn't stop there. She knew there were bigger problems and joined the Barnet Youth Board, where she campaigned along with the Barnet CAMS group. Her scope still wasn't wide enough for her ambitious nature, so with her tireless campaigning, she gained more votes than the local mayor and joined the UK Youth Parliament, where she represented young London Jewry. In 2015, she reached her objective and was accepted onto the NHS Mental Health Commission report and finally gained the influence that she had wanted. She worked tirelessly to implement her ideas and was granted £30,000 to run a London Mental Health Awareness Day, which she did with great success. Most people would consider their efforts to be complete by this point, but Mia has always strived for more, and at the beginning of this academic year, she directed and produced a documentary about stigmatism of minority groups in London. The documentary followed the lives of 6 individuals who belonged to minority groups and highlighted the prejudices that they were facing. Settling for only the best, Mia sent this film to Boris Johnson, who agreed to play it at the Conservative Conference, which took place in 2015. This is not the only aspect of Mia's loving and caring efforts to improve the world she lives in. She signed up to take part in the Jewish Autism Trust and volunteered twice a week to help with the sensory play of young children with autism. She spent a year with a family who on the feedback form said, "Without Mia, my child would never have progressed past the development of a 1-year-old. But Mia sat with him and made the most amazing progress. He can now recognise colour, shape, and even point to the foods he wants to eat. We will always be grateful to Mia." This is what she so highly values, to make each human feel accepted and worthwhile. We are delighted that Mia Gray is this year's Yoni Jesner Scholar.